Hi everyone, this is the Legendary. I'm back in with more. This time I'm going to be doing a Hasbro Beyblade Burst unboxing for probably one of the biggest Beyblade Burst sets we've gotten in a while, and that is called the Beyblade Burst Battle Tower. And this one's actually this one was probably the only Beyblade Burst. This was probably the only Beyblade Burst stadium that actually got advertised a lot, because I remember about a month or two ago, there was actually a whole bunch of advertisements by Hasbro. It was popping up on YouTube, and this was what it was for, the Battle Tower. And now I'm just glad that I could finally open this up and show what's inside and actually kind of experience the enjoyment that other people have been able to kind of experience. But other than that, it's actually just for you, the viewer, to actually see what's in the box, and let's actually explore what's going on the outside first, at least. So, you actually see Strike Valtrex bursting Noctimus, and it says Battle Tower on the top. Down the bottom, you don't see anything, and for the front, you basically see the two Beyblades that it comes with, which are Twin Noctimus and Strike Valtrex. Then it shows how I can go from 4-player mode to 2-player, or vice versa. Then it says the Switch Strike logo and the Hasbro logo, then the Warner logo telling you it's Beyblade Burst tops of the stadium. It is kind of common knowledge so far. Comes with the Battle Tower, 2 launchers, and the Beyblades. Well, it shows the Beyblades, so at least you actually know that you're gonna actually get the Beyblades, unlike the other sets that actually don't show you. But here are the stats. But instead of showing you the stats here, I'm actually gonna switch to the back of the box. It's kind of weird because on, like, the other arena that I have, which is the Rail Rush Stadium, and the Snake Pit, and the Starstorm, they actually chose one side of the box to actually kind of dedicated to measurements of the Beyblades for some reason. And I think the measurements are kind of cool, but showing the stats on the side where stats are literally right here on the back of the box, I think that was kind of a waste of space to kind of be repetitive, but it's okay. I guess it works out well. So it actually says it has multi-level battling, level 1, level 2. So there are actually 2 levels where you could battle on. And basically here for the top, it just shows an anime look of everything that you get. Kinda wish other boxes were like this, then it might actually be a little bit cooler to unbox these Beyblades, but either way, it's okay, it works for me very well. Okay, let's see if I can get it from shaking. Okay, so we're going to be looking at Strike Valtrex right here. Strike Valtrex V3. It comes with... It doesn't actually tell you the parts because it's kind of put on there kind of tightly. So, the parts are 6 Vortex and reboots. You don't get an Ultimate reboot, even though this is supposed to be like Strike. This is supposed to be the English version of Strike Gun Valkyrie from Takatomi. But instead of that, you basically just get another Genesis Valtrex instead of a actual Gun Valkyrie. And I don't have the Japanese Twin Nemesis, but I'm going to kind of compare them. So, Spring Blade Attack, which really should be disabled for the Strike gimmick. But the ability for our Spring Blade Attack and In-Battle Tip Change, which these are basically the same exact gimmicks that were with the Genesis Valtrex. So there's basically no difference. And with Noctimus N3, I actually did do some battles with it, and that's because someone I was talking to actually gave me the Beyblade. And, well, because of that, I'm actually gonna be, this will be the first time on the channel that you actually see these gimmicks. So as dual attack mode, so smash attack and upper attack. And then, you know, a wide attack path, which is really funny because Jaggy is a tip that came out in the first season of Beyblade Burst, when the Beyblade Burst storyline first got released. So I think that's actually kind of funny that they tried to make it seem cool like all the other Beyblades when it's really just a re-release. And now, let's get on to the unboxing. But yeah, this kind of how I get to the boxes. I mean, I could just pull it out, but I don't want to mess up the plastic, and there are just so many layers of plastic with this. Don't get me started. Anyway, these are both the boxes. Boxes is just easy. Cut the tape. Then you get your slightly bent straight cord. Your done two parts for the Beyblades because the layers are just right here. Now I'll go to these in detail a little bit later. And here are the clips for the arena. Then your launcher. Scoreboards. Then in the other box, which this may actually be in a reverse order, so please forgive me if in your first box you didn't get the same parts that I got. But this also comes with a ripcord and parts for Strike Soundtrack, then the clips, and another scoreboard and launcher. So that's just basically what it includes. And now I guess it's time for me to build the battle tower. Okay, so I am back, and it probably took me about double the length of this video to actually put together the battle tower, but we're gonna get onto that later. So this is basically what is included: Strike Soundtrack and Twin Optimus. And for these two, it just comes with a quote-unquote straight launcher because these are actually bent. And this one is definitely bent. But it shouldn't affect the launch too much though. It's probably just mine because mine was kind of beat up. Anyway, let's do the comparison. I'm just bringing down Twin Optimus parts for this so far. I'll be comparing to the original one and the one, well, the Strike Guy Valkyrie from Paratomi, which is the Japanese brand for the Beyblades. So, Strike Valtrack is actually supposed to be looking like this. The metal could be shinier, but still, it's supposed to be looking like this, where the wings are actually pushed back and locked into place. And for Hasbro, it wasn't locked into place. So there are some people that actually modded their Valtracks just so it could be locked in place and be more anime accurate, because anime accuracy is important, especially whenever you're trying to sell Beyblades to any audience in general. And well, that's just basically a comparison of all of them. But whenever it's compared to regular Valtrack, well, regular Genesis, it's basically, they're basically the same exact Beyblade except for tire slopes on this one, I believe, and the strike thing in the middle. Well, I'm not even gonna say that's a strike chip because they call it a strike chip. But for this, can't even call it a strike chip. It's basically like a decoration for the Beyblade. So, on the back, since they both could do spring blade attack, they're basically exactly the same Beyblade, and there you go. The QR codes for both if you actually want to scan them into the game. But that's basically it. It just has a colors. This actually has brighter colors than the one from the Starstorm battle set, and there is a recolor of it that came in singles, but it's not really worth mentioning because it's not anime accurate. And now Vortex. Well, 6 Vortex. 6 Vortex actually does come together in this set. It wasn't me doing stuff off camera, but you actually can split them apart like any normal Beyblade part. Like any normal Beyblade part can, so the only difference is that the metal's newer and the original one was red. And for this one is actually turquoise. I don't know why they chose turquoise. I mean, in the TV show, it basically had with the Beyblade, even though the tattooing is actually off for the sides, whenever Fall did the Genesis Slash, I think it's what you call it, Genesis Slash, Genesis Whip. Whenever Fall did Genesis Whip, this whole part just glowed. Instead of having it glow, they just made it translucent. So it's kind of interesting for the imagination. They could have had at least a little bit of a brighter blue or something. But this is basically reboots. This could potentially be a better reboot than the one from the Ultimate Tournament Collection. If it is, then these two would basically be the best reboots that is out for Hasbro, because Hasbro's first reboot takes forever for it to go down and actually work, but for the yellow and gold one, I believe these are actually better. But we'll figure that out. And for Twin Optimus, I know already gonna show you off and show his performance already, but here's a closer look at it. Twin Optimus. I don't have the Japanese one to compare it to, but this is actually based off of the random layer collection version of this layer instead of the actual physical release. Yeah, actual physical release. And with this one, it has, well, there's the QR code, and there's actually 2 modes to it. So what I do is, in order to switch the mode, since this is in the upper mode, you can tell by the upper slope. In order to switch the modes, you have to see these tabs, you have to push them in, and then you turn it. Wouldn't even say 180 degrees, but you just turn it almost 180 degrees, and it's now going to be in smash mode because there's like a wall there instead of it being a slope, and then the slope is on the other side, and the slope can't really make contact with the Beyblades, so that's why it's called smash attack mode, and the other mode is called upper attack. But Hasbro doesn't really tell you the names for the modes, but in order to lock the modes in place, you actually have to take the tabs and move them back, or slide them back, and then there you go. It doesn't move. I don't believe it really affects the gameplay too much, but go by tournament rules. If it's they're gonna have certain tournament rules for it, I'm not aware of it though. Anyway, let's see how well these Beyblades are whenever they are put together. Okay, so first is Strike Valtrak. Wow, that is pretty tight. Well, no. Kinda easy to slide, but it has some tightness to it, and it's really tight near the end, so whenever it's about to burst, it might hang on to like just a little bit of slide. And for Genesis, it actually has a little bit of tightness to it, but it slides really easy and bursts a lot, so I think this is actually an upgrade. I think this is actually a good upgrade for Genesis for once. The golden one is kind of a... The reboot is actually the only upgrade to it if you ever want to get the Ultimate Tournament Collection. But this is good for collection purposes and battling purposes. I almost don't want to put this together, but for the sake of this video, I will. Let's see the slides. Wow, for this one it actually slides easily. This one actually slides a bit tougher. But this one slides easier. It's actually kind of concerning. I mean, they do say burst rates vary, but this really shouldn't be a thing. I mean, I know that every Beyblade should be at least kind of different, but when the Beyblades are under the same name, they really should be different in the sense that the Beyblades should have different names of the Beyblades. So, you know, like, none of the same physical copies of the Beyblades should be. Oh, I guess Smash Mode is kind of a little bit tired, but this is still very concerning. So I'm kind of scared that some of the Beyblades in the near future might just burst and not be relevant anymore. So kind of watch out for that. The slopes actually kind of change for whatever Beyblade you're getting. So, or it could just be my copy. I'm not sure, but at least I have two to actually compare and figure out this problem. Here is the Battle Tower, the moment you've all been waiting for. Well, this is actually kind of not really too much of a hype moment, but whatever. The Battle Tower actually does feature... This is probably one of the hardest builds to actually do for constructive-wise for the Hasbro Beyblade so far, because the Avatar Tax Stadium was, I think that one was a $50 set just like this, but this is actually a double-sided ring, so this actually has some weight to it, and it's actually pretty good. It does its job very well, and I'm actually going to be doing some test launches for both sides to kind of show you what each side kind of looks like while they're spinning. But there's also kind of pockets, if you could see them. You can't really distinguish whichever side you're on because all the Beyblade Stadium is clear. So I believe that if it was actually a little bit of like yellow or gold on the top or something like blue somewhere, then it might actually look a little bit better. Then it might be better to capture on camera, but this is what we have to work with, and that's what I'm going for. That's what I'm going with for now. And to kind of do a test launch for Split Strike Valtrack, let's do it in 2-player mode. 3, 2, 1, let it rip! Okay, so seems to be fine. I can't really record my GoPro with this. Can't really record this on my GoPro, but that's basically it for Strike